we're looking at a motion graph question. So first thing we've got to work out is, are we talking about a distance time graph or are we looking at a velocity time graph? And here the graph shows how far the horse and rider travel during the race. And if we look at this, we can also see that it is talking about distance in relation to time. So what does that mean in terms of what the graph shows? It means that, so for some part like this, where we've got the line going up steadily in a straight line, that means the distance is changing steadily. So that horse is doing a steady speed. And where we've got a graph on the flat like that, then the distance isn't changing, so the horse and rider must be stationary. Okay, so first question, what was the distance of the race? So how far did the horse go when it got to the finish? And we look along here, we find that the horse traveled 60 kilometers. That's our units. So our distance is 60. And next up, how long did it take the horse and rider to complete the race? Okay, how long before they got to the finish? If we look it down to there, that's our finish line there. So what's the time on here? Halfway between 5 and 6. So it must have been 5.5. What units are we looking at? We're looking at hours. So it must be 5.5 hours. Okay, 5.5 hours. So what distance did the horse and rider travel in the first 2 hours of the race? So again, we're just looking to plot it straight off the graph, the first hour, the second hour. So that's where it got in 2 hours. So again, we just need to look at where that is, and that's 30 kilometers. So we're just reading this data straight off the graph. Next up, how long? We're looking at time. How long did the horse and rider stop and rest during the race? So we're looking for the flat part, and the only part that's flat is there from B to C. So it's from that point there to that point there, which is from 2.5 to 3. So that's going to be 3 take away 2.5 is going to be half an hour. Okay, not counting the time it was resting, between which 2 points was the horse moving the slowest? Okay, so now we need to analyze a little bit about what does this graph mean. The steeper the graph, the more the distance is changing per hour. So the steeper the graph, the faster the horse and rider is traveling. So to rephrase the question, which is the flattest bit of the graph? This is relatively, AB is relatively flat, but actually, if you have a careful look, you'll notice the flattest bit is actually between D and E. So between D and E, for a reason, that is the flattest part of the graph. You could say the gradient was the lowest. You could say it is the least steep. You could say it's gone up the least amount per hour. Any of these answers would do. But basically, what you're saying is the gradient is smallest. Okay, and that's how you do that question.